Titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Monkey smoke.
He's a great podcaster.
Tricky smoke.
Acknowledge me. We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Yes, we're here. We're doing it. Dr. Huge, can you hear me? Is everybody out there? Is the audio working? Is anything working? Ever? It's always a different thing every week. Usually I would have the sleaze, over here. Danny might join the show if it's not a problem coming from Restream because the link it's not working. Could be an internet problem. Who knows? But I think I'm up and working. Let's give ourselves the old video game version of how we do this. I always double check because nothing ever works. So bring me. Well, it says we're live. Am I talking? Are we doing things? Are we eating? Yeah, we're doing it. Like my own video. Hit the like. Thank you. Man, I sound pretty good. Look pretty good too, as you guys already know this. Yep. So I got wrestling notes, of course. There's a lot of wrestling news just happened today, happened all week. We haven't spoken since WrestleMania, bro. Since the beginning of WrestleMania. So I can tell you how right I am about everything. I picked everything correctly night one, except for the end. More on that later. But head analyst journalists around here, folks. Can you hear the yeets? Thank you. Sasha Reigns can hear me. Heel Easy can hear me. Shout out to Paladin. Shout out to Sasha Reigns. Shout out to the sleaze trying to get into the show right now. Shout out to Heel Easy. You know my dumb ass had to be here for this one. Give me that taco itch, doc. Well, you know how it goes here generally. I have to work myself up into a little bit of a frenzy when it comes to, the world and corporations and, all the Cyberdynes and what's the one in Alien? That corporation that runs everything in Alien. You understand what I'm saying? This is where we're going. More on that later as well. More yeeting. And there's a reason for that as well. We'll be speaking on that probably pretty soon. You know what? Let's talk about it right now since, this is the top story. New Day have been, they've been let go. Let's call it what it actually is. They were released, a soft release, because it saves face a little bit to the normies and all this. Because when you give them an offer, they can refuse. Businesses, and you don't have to be some big mega corporation to do this. They've been doing this on radio for years, like terrestrial radio, mainly. But they're like, oh, hey, you've been making $100,000 a year. Would you like to make $10,000 a year now? Let's rework this contract, right? And then the person across the table is like, what?
No leads.
No, I'll just go get another job then. And then the employer is like, oh, we're so sorry for you to go. We really wanted to keep you, right? They didn't. They don't like you. They want you gone. Yep. So that's how that works. They got rid of the New Day. You don't know what to do with the New Day? Oh, okay. Well, they don't have Big E. You made Big E the champion, all this stuff. I like Big E, cool and all that, whatever. But he wasn't, in my eyes, a better champion than Kofi Kingston. But they didn't know what to do with Kofi Kingston either. They only know what to do with tiny guys like Rey Mysterio. So they got Kofi Kingston got his ass whipped by the Beast Brock Lesnar, right? If my memory served me correct. What was it, 6 or 7 seconds? And this is the only New Day picture I had, by the way. You know, keeping it in my files. You know why, right?
I'm not gay no more.
That's why. I mean, these guys are working up their own gimmicks. They created a lot of stuff on their own. Very valuable. They can still go in the ring. You know, of course, Kofi Kingston, one of the GOATs. And he's going to be looked back at that as that now that they're leaving the dub. Also, this means that the WWE TKO, we call them TKO over here now. The WWE, rest in peace to you guys. You don't exist anymore.
Rest.
Not to me.
In peace.
Rest in peace, WWF. Rest in peace, WWE. And let's not forget about WWF. That was many, many years ago, and nobody gives a shit about that anymore. But this is TKO now. This is Pat McAfee. This is Jelly Roll. I Run Fast. Who else? Logan Paul, right? There's a push now I've seen online lately. They want to make Logan Paul the champion. These bots, these people, whoever the fuck these people are on the interwebs, you want to make Logan Paul champion of the WWE and make the prophecy from myself and Kenny Omega that he'll be taking on Mr. Beast at WrestleMania 46, 45 even, maybe. It's going to be closer to that than anything else. This is where we're going, folks. No more wrestling stuff. None of that wrestling business. Sports entertainment on steroids. Done the TKO way. Done the Netflix way. You understand? It's the shits. Tell him, Roman Reigns. You're not Roman Reigns.
It was the shits.
Exactly. All right, what are the people saying? The man, big buildings, money, anger, we're fighting ghosts. Let's go. Shadow boxing. Sasha Reigns, it makes me think they will also get rid of Grayson since he was tagging with him. But I don't think so. He's a younger talent. They're going to wait and see. How do you not know what to do with Grayson Waller? There's a million different things you could do with Grayson Waller. He can talk. He can wrestle. He's a douche. Like, naturally, a douche is quite the quality. And then look at that. And Paladin's just staring at Xavier Diddy over here. But, you know, I know you're not either, right?
I'm not gay no more.
Not anymore. The internet says I am all kinds of things. Yup, I'm that. Okay. Anyway, so we can stop looking at them. I know, very sad day. A lot of outrage. Of course, they have releases around this time every year, and everybody's outraged. Like and share and subscribe. Thank you. Everybody's crying and whining. How dare you get? They weren't used, or they were used like shit. That's where the focus has to be, right? That's where my focus has been, watching this sink, this ship here sink as fast as it has with TKO. And of course, everybody's going to go, well, the money. Look at all the money they're making. Yeah, that's cool. I'm talking about like the actual business, and the product is not what it was. That's going away. It's dying out. And this is one big cash grab, like everything else. Just like how there's gambling in sports, and now you see sports shitting the bed season after season. It's getting worse. I love the NFL. Every year that goes by, it gets worse. Even this one game that they added in new playoff system to put more teams in, that's not good for your business. That's actually not good. It may be money-wise. Again, I don't give a fuck how much money they make. I want a good product. I want to watch something that's entertaining. And how about this? A little bit real? Even with pro wrestling, can you guys act like you're trying to be wrestlers and you're actually mad at each other? No, you're just going to be pissed off at each other when the lights are on and everything, and then you're going to go on the internet as your real name and talk about how you love each other and you're kissing that. And I get that it's a performance, but there's no reason to watch these works anymore. I'm trying to get worked. I want to be swerved. But in this pro wrestling now, it's just merchandising. It's a bunch of merchandising opportunities. Who cares who's actually good at wrestling? Who's selling stuff? We'll just keep pushing them. And I know everybody loves this Danhausen, but he's like a glorified merch guy. That's his act. It's selling merch. People are going to get sick of this soon, right? And if not, are we living in that Idiocracy movie? It's just very odd. Everything is odd. And then Brock Lesnar retires on us? We didn't even speak on this.
Of course, jabronis.
Of course, Rock. We know you know, but and of course our audience, very, very smart viewers out here in the Hugenverse. Hugenverse, which was originated in 2016. Thank you. Before the Dabbleverse. More on that later as well. Brock Lesnar retires. I'll give you this. That whole Brock Lesnar Obafemi deal, that was perfect. Why can't you do that with everything? And it's so easy to do. Obafemi, the new young up-and-comer, the surprise win, the surprise retirement, almost brought a tear to my eye, and I don't get emotional about anything. If I get emotional, I do this.
I'm coming for you, motherfucker! I'm the beast! I'm coming for you, motherfucker! Donald's a piece of shit! Miocic's the piece of shit!
Yep, that's how I get emotional. So, Brock Lesnar get well. Very shortly after his in-ring retirement, he didn't. Paul Heyman was out here going, he's not retired. And you know he probably isn't. Acts as big as The Undertaker.
You're not God.
I thought you were The Undertaker. You were in purple. That's Bagel Boss. Close enough. But when Undertaker retires, you knew that wasn't going to last very long. He wants to wrestle. He's going to wrestle more. And he did. Brock Lesnar, he doesn't really care to wrestle. He could give a fuck. But he does like money. So when they're like, hey, Brock, will you take $20 million to go wrestle a guy for 5 minutes in Saudi Arabia? He's going to be like, what? And shout out to Big Dub. Big Dub, very famous out here in the interwebs. Yep, Clowntown, MLC fame. You said something, I wanted to ask you about it, and maybe I did. I don't remember. But you said something about how you're not like a KB guy anymore. You were a big KB guy back in the day. That's happening tonight, Rodney's, right? Is that the comedy show with Brennan and Zumach and DeVito and all the people in the Hackverse and the Shitverse and the Dabbleverse? So there's going to be shenanigans there. I heard there was going to be fist fights and people setting up things, possible pew-pews being brought, like wild shit. Listen. You know me, I'm not in the Dabbleverse. I'm in this verse, the Hugenverse, with all the things that I like. And those people over there, they're savages. Plain and simple. There's some cool people. We got the Big Dubs. We got the, I like Dave Sarin, Dirty, and CWC, and, many characters in that whole Dabbleverse and the Clippers and the chats and all this stuff. But there's a small segment of the people in that area that they really I'm hating on 10%, maybe even less, of the people that are like very strange. Like they're not doing anything for the goof, you understand? So say what? Who? Kevin Brennan's in the chat? Of course he is. I think that's who you're talking about. Yeah, I like MLC, but again, that whole world, that whole community area it's toxic isn't the word for it. You know, it's all very much more than toxic. And I'm weird, I'm stupid, I'm a loser, I'm this and that. I get it, right? But to be put on repeat, and where if your show it's just very low vibrational, and I'm trying to keep it positive. I got a box of Bootios over here. That's the power of positivity. That's how we do over here.
I'm not gay no more.
Not no more. Mm-hmm. And I'm interested. I've been watching, I've been seeing, but everybody's they're getting very angry everywhere. Everybody's angry and they're going in the court cases and like that's not the fun stuff. That's not the interesting stuff. The money counting, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And this is I'm not shitting on anybody in particular. I'm talking about a small segment of a Dabbleverse. And I just learned that there was a sector and all. I don't even really know, I'm too worried about this scripted horseshit over here. I'm a lone wolf. I don't join groups. I don't trust anybody, Stone Cold style. I observe, and I do it for the love of the game, obviously. I mean, come on. That's why we gotta love Dr. Huge. Everybody should. But not Stuttering John. Did you see him the other night, Big Dub? So I'm watching Stuttering John Wednesday night. I got him on in the background. I'm always doing stuff. I'm moving and I'm shaking, right? And all of a sudden I hear my name brought up. And he goes, fuck that guy. Fuck me? Somebody that has been a supporter of yours, a viewer of yours for, going on 3 years now? And has membered up, has sent in super chats. Maybe not enough. I guess I didn't give him enough. Same thing went for Zumach. A few years ago, I would be watching him. I was a regular viewer. It was a good time slot for me. And I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm super chatting, I'm membering up here and there. And then he's like, I don't know who you are and who are you? And, trying to big time me type thing. But Stuttering John, he knows who I am. I was on his show. And I was good on his show. And he still was like, fuck you. I don't like this guy. Why? Because I find like the trailer that just came out about you, I thought that was funny. Why? Because I heard you goofing on me for weeks, even though you wanted me on before. But maybe he's mad because I was trying to get on his last show. Because I'm not one of these guys that just, hey, come on my show now. I'm not doing it like that. I got a set schedule for myself. And if I can do somebody's show, if you give me several hours notice or day notice, sure, I'll think about it. But, I'm not going to be laying in my jammies in bed and like, come on my show at midnight. And then when I'm like, nah, it's like, oh, fuck this guy. Got it. And I'm not even an actual troll of his. Again, I'm having fun. That's all I'm trying to do is have fun, not be bummed out. But I think, let's just call it that over there. It's the bummed out verse. Everybody's bummed out and they want everybody else to feel bummed out as well. And you can't be in there if you got the power of positivity. Elbow drops on people and shit like that. Bootios in your underwear. They don't want that. I mean, if you could have caught me like 10 years ago or something, I would have been one of the biggest haters on there probably. But, too old for that. The game has passed me by as far as hating. I just don't hate. I don't even hate John. He can say fuck me all this. I get it. I get the whole, and then, you'll have me on or whatever and all this shit. I get it. I get the works, right? But I'd rather watch the works than be a part of them because I know too much. I get it. Again, I'm not a stupid wrestling guy. If you understand wrestling, I think you can understand the rest of the world because everything's a work at this point. And some no-life motherfucker trying to keep me awake at night. No, sir. Pretty much. It's like, come on. And it's not like I'm getting paid for anything, which I'm not looking to get paid for any of this. But what am I going to go get somebody else $6 just for me to be shit on? It's like, I don't really need that. I don't need the attention that bad. And of course, all shows need attention. They all need them. So, yeah, I do things for attention sometimes, but I'm not a clout chaser. Like, I'm not going to go shit my pants, and I'm not going to, other random wild things that are going on out there to get a couple bucks. Yeah, no thank you. That's all you guys. If you want to go shit your pants or whatever that's happening over there, then go for it. And if you get paid off of it, cool. But, I have a little more value to bring than clout chasing. Plus, it just makes me feel dirty. I understand what clout chasing is. I get it. And every time I just don't like inauthentic stuff. Be who you are, right? I just happen to be a good guy. I know. How dare I say that about myself, right? But it's true. It's a fact, Jack. Yeah, he really went in on me for a minute. Not like in this long speech or anything, but he's basically like, yeah, fuck this guy. Shaking his head like, could you imagine somebody like me, as big as Stuttering John, having a fucking douche like him on? Like, what? You want me to have him on again? And it's like, you did. You already had me on, and that was great. You know what I'm saying? Heel easy. Heel easy gets it. But, hey, nice guys finish last. They do. That's why I'm not even monetized yet. Fuck monetized. What am I going to do? I'm going to get monetized and then what? Cash $1.50 a month? Who cares? So, eventually I'll be off of here. I'm assuming, YouTube will eventually get rid of me. And then I got a Rumble account already going. 2 followers on there. We're killing it on there. So if you got a white nationalist Rumble account, follow me on there. If you got a Kick, all the kids love Kick. The Looks Maxing guys on there. I'm thinking about Looks Maxing over here. After joining the Dabbleverse, you get to hear all about your everything. They zoom in on your background. They're like, let's find some evidence. What can we low count him with? The whole thing. How about that? I mean, look at this place. The ladies love it, though, to be honest. You're getting monetization and then banned the next day, probably. Yeah, you're guaranteeing it. I'm saying 60-40, percent chance that will happen. Yeah. Because that's generally how this life goes. But I'm breaking that pattern. I'm breaking those old cycles. Heel easy. We're winning now. We're thinking positive. All thanks to the new day. And we're the realest over here. All of us. Paladin. Everybody follows each other in the chat. And if you don't, do it because, again, these are decent people. And LLDH, ladies love Dr. Huge. That's a fact, Jack. That's another thing. I don't have to prove any of that. Oh, you're an incel, you're this and that. Okay. If that's what you want to think. But let me tell you, if you want to know from the source, I did pretty well. I'm pretty good. Like, you got to be doing pretty well for yourself back in the day when it came to the ladies, when you don't want to deal with ladies anymore. Think about that. It's me. Sure, I'm an incel, maybe, but that type of an incel. I've had enough. Okay, I've had way more than anybody else should be having. So there you go. And shout out to Philly Sports Pride. Of course you would show up today. Gonna troll me with your 76ers. The Celtics should have just closed this out. But as I was speaking on my little video game streams that I do during the week, none of this is real. And I'm not saying, it's just fixed for the Sixers or whatever. It's fixed for a lot of different things, right? In all different sports. But more than that, if it's a 3-point shooting game and everybody's just chucking threes, you live by the 3, you die by the 3, right? So, but the Celtics are going to probably win game 7, and because that's where the money is, right? I mean, the Celtics went to fucking game 7 with the Hawks when they had KG, Pierce, and Ray Allen. And they probably should have lost that series if we want to keep it 100, right? Unbiased. But what are they going to do? Advance Mike Bibby and Sasha Pachulia, whatever the fuck his name was? Got it. Mm-hmm. And Healy needs to follow Paladin. Keeps my man Sleaze safe from the hooers. Good. Yep, the Sleaze, he'll get all caught up in the hooers. Right? I know you, Sleaze.
He's fat!
No, what? Wrong page. I know you, Sleaze. He's definitely not fat.
Because you know you like hoes. And I know that you like hoes.
Yep. If you don't like hoes, it's a little suspect for me. It's like, yeah. So you're a liar. Got it. And Philly Sports Pride. Celtics will hit 30s today and win by 40. Yep. That's about right. You know this. You know how these things play out. They love getting this extra money from game 5, 6, 7. They love that money and the ad revenue that comes off of it. Woo, everything's fake. They might as well just do one game and no more series in basketball. And you're brewing shit to bed. They did. I didn't even realize they made the playoffs because I don't keep up with it too much. But yeah, I think the Sabres whipped on them, right? Mm-hmm. Sasa Pajojevic. Yep. The old NBA was so good, too. What the hell happened, everybody? Old wrestling was so good. Everything was so much better. And this is not just old man screaming at clouds. It's the truth. They ruined the games in the entertainment, in the movies, and now they just keep giving us that same horseshit movie over and over and over again. And they're doing it just for cash. It's all McDonald's. It's all cookie cutter. Here you go. And that's why I've been leaning into things like the Dabbleverse and other comedy shows and things online, because at least there's some realness to it. You know, you don't have to have the greatest set and the greatest sound and the greatest whatever, for me anyway. But there's got to be something going on that's a little bit real. And I get that TV shows and movies aren't real, but they're not even trying. They're not trying to create anything new or thought-provoking, all that stuff. They may say they do, and all these critics and all they bought up, these people that are bought off out here. They're like, oh, it's the best. And then you watch it, it's like, that was the fucking shits. It was the best?
It was the shits.
It's the shits.
I watched Fantastic Four the other day. So now that I got all this Disney and ESPN and Hulu and bullshit bundles, I'm trying to keep up on stuff that I missed out on, right? Because I'm a comic book collector. Got a show. I'll talk about that later. Watched Fantastic Four, and it's just blah. I don't know how to explain it. I like how they initially told us who they were, got the origin story right out of the way so we can get into the movie. But past several years, I fast forward through things. Like when they really start getting in the dialogue, there was a lot of dialogue that was meaningless in this movie. And then, the CGI. How can the CGI be better 15 years ago than it is now? I'll let other geek shows discuss that, which they probably still are. But it's just, again, it's proof that they're using AI. There's AI in this new Spider-Man movie coming up. And Moon Knight, I'm halfway through it. I'm a Moon Knight fan as far as the comics, but this show, very childlike. It's not good. Daredevil, on the other hand, watch that. Even if you don't like comic books, so it doesn't matter. The Daredevil series is A+. Anyway. I can get more into that later too, but I know you guys want to hear this hardcore wrestling news, like the New Day getting released. Also, a couple MFTers. What's his name? What do they call him? The short, stocky guy. The fuck is his name now? JC Mateo. That's the name they gave him. He's gone. The another Tongan, Samoan, he's gone. The one that came in with the the one that Jess loves. Tama. I can't keep any of these names right. But anyway, wrestling, the WWE is kind of turned into the Samoan Tongaverse over there. Yep. So that's why it's just not interesting to me. And Cape movies and gay movies. Cape movies. Yep. Cape movies and gay movies. They did in Fantastic Four, the Invisible Woman was technically the leader. We all know Mr. Fantastic is the leader of the Fantastic Four. He's the man, he's the dad, all this stuff. But he was kind of like a bitch in that movie. Yep. Tongaloa, Sasha. You got it. And again, Michael B. Jordan, the worst acting performance I've ever seen in my life. That's why I find it funny when he's like winning all these awards and stuff, because I think he stinks. I don't think he's a good actor at all. And his portrayal of Killmonger in the first Black Panther, whew,
It was the shits.
he was like this tough street guy, street kid, saying the lingo. So unbelievable. I've been to the streets before, believe me. They don't sound like you, Killmonger. And now you still don't know what the MFT stand for? I always thought it was a bad, what is that, an acronym, whatever. Like just the letters themselves, MFT, just my family tree. That's what it stands for. So I don't know if they're going with that anymore. Exactly. That's what I'm waiting for, Big Dub. Us real men's. Daredevil, Punisher, shit like that. And I'll let Spider-Man, I don't mind the kids stuff and everybody loves Spider-Man. But Punisher's going to be in the new Spider-Man. Daredevil's going to get more involved. Like the street level stuff, that's where I'm at. Luke Cage, the Kingpin, that stuff is way better than the Silver Surfer flying across the galaxy to be here in 2 seconds and Galactus and all that horse shit. That's just all that wacky CGI. No, how about just Frank Castle just blowing people's heads off? Like the Warzone movie. That was insane. I got that on DVD over there, of course. And what's going on? Luke, shout out to Luke. Another famous person on the interwebs, everybody. Yep, everybody's following each other in here, of course. Yep, I did a little Dabbleverse talk a while ago. I'm kind of backing off even viewing a lot of Dabbleverse stuff because it's run its course. I think 3 years is good enough. I'll still be around. I'll still be checking in, whatever. But yeah, I'm seeing what's going on. It stinks. Right now, it kind of stinks. And Heel Easy, you're completely right with us. 2000s basketball was peak. 2004 was it. It was. Yep. And that's after Jordan, just retired from the Wizards and everything, but just having him on the Wizards. You know why? 2004 was the year that the NBA played one of the toughest defensive years. If you just go look at the points, total points per game, which I think was around 110 or maybe even below that. But now it's 120. I think there had to have been seasons where it was in the 90s. I'll look it up. But either way, 2004, they were locking everybody up except Kobe. And even Jordan in 2003 was putting up 30, 40 point games. Still, people forget. They thought he was just a bum. He was never been a bum, ever. He'd probably come out right now and still like score your points when you need them. He was that good. But the kids don't know that. They've grown up with the brainwashing of LeBron James and this whole new bullshit era where they're just extracting money from fans. You know, the same way everybody was saying that WrestleMania felt soulless. Even watching it on TV, it felt soulless. Well, the NBA has been way ahead of you for years. I know other people have even said they're like, it feels like you're like at some weird branding event. All the players are branding themselves. They're not even really interested in basketball. It's all skill-based, like specifically like on certain things. Like you do this. You shoot from the top of the key and in that spot over in the gray area. And that's it. That's all you do, right? Back in the day, you had to do fucking everything. So there's no more defense. You can travel. You can carry. You can do almost anything you want in the game. It's kind of weird. And then they space and pace also ruined it. Let's chuck a bunch of threes, spread everybody out so nobody's in the paint, and then we'll make it easy for one-on-ones. And then if you blow by one guy, there's really nobody else to help. And that was for LeBron. LeBron would bring the ball up, take it to the top of the key, and then he would bulldoze his way to the basket. Right? Because they spaced everybody out. And then, if they collapse on him, he can dish it to one of his millions of greatest shooters of all time. Miller and Allen. Who else? They surrounded him with all kinds of shooters. Rashad Evans, Kyrie. And then it's like, how great is LeBron? He passed the ball. LeBron, he don't have a bag. He doesn't even have a bag. He's been playing all this time. I'm not going to tell you he's bad, right? I'm not one of these guys I'm just hating. I understand basketball. He's not a top 50 player if you put everything into context, meaning the league helping him, meaning his teams helping him, how he can just jump from team to team, how he can have all the best shooters and everybody around him to make him look better. It's just insane what they've done for this guy. You know, of course, in my honest opinion, the roids, taking it in the butt, in the arms, in the head, probably. All roided up. He flops. He cheats the game at every turn. He ruined the All-Star game and All-Star weekend. He would never do the slam dunk contest. What?
It was the shits.
You won't do the slam dunk contest. You're like the Michael Jordan, or you claim to be. I don't even, when people have been bringing up LeBron or Michael Jordan for the past 20 years, I don't even give them a response. I just go, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing Bird versus LeBron, Kobe versus LeBron, Magic, Kareem. Like, no. They're all better than him. Tim Duncan's better than him. There's a lot of players better than him. But he gets to use steroids. He gets to take time off in the middle of every season for whatever reason. He can just say, I'm injured. I'm not playing tonight. My team's not doing well. Get me out of here. Get me more help. But with the All-Star game, when they started making it teams and he was the one that was able to pick the team every year, it'd be like him and Giannis, him and Kevin Durant, him and somebody, but it was always LeBron's team and he'd pick it. I'm like, this shit is cringe. Get me out of here. He's not even the best player in the league, and he's the one dictating who's going to be on what team, which is all rigged and stupid and fixed anyway, right? But who cares? Taking roids in the butt gives you strong hemorrhoids, I believe. I hope so. That's what I've been banking on. I'm all gassed up. Get it? See what I did there?
It was the shits.
Mm-hmm. Yep, but LeBron James stinks. The NBA stinks. I think what ruined the NBA is what's killing the WWE. All that corporate influence. Yep. You fucking nailed it just like I did. We're seeing the same thing out here, everybody. That's why I got much bigger fish to fry than, a 60-year-old man on the interwebs. And I got beefs with TKO. We got to take on TKO and Ari Emanuel, right? Holy mackerel. I hope I can keep my bank accounts after that battle. But then we're going to take on Pat McAfee first, his champion. And we need to then take on what? Netflix, YouTube itself, YouTube TOS, don't worry. In a boxing ring, I'm talking. And Trump, right? Biden, Obama, I think. So this is the world I'm in right now. This is what I'm dealing with. I'm going to take them all down, one by one. And then I'm going to erect a statue of myself, hat backwards, all just like this, in every city across the country. Thank you. Luke, the mafia trapping players and making them do certain actions to influence certain bets isn't helping the NBA either. It hasn't been. You mean it wasn't just that guy in the early 2000s? What was his name? I always knew his name. I forgot. Tim Donaghy. See, every time I watch MLC for a little bit and I get some of that MLC dementia some days. So when I do my show, I'm like, I don't know what I'm even thinking anymore. Am I thinking? Yep. So we know that's a fact, Jack, bro. The mafia got Chauncey Billups in their pocket somehow. And, all these other NBA players, they get coaches, they get the refs. The league itself is fixing things for what it wants. Yeah. The world is a big work. Down to your local HVAC guy. That's a big work too. Everything's a work. The food is a work. Big Farm is a work. Rodney's tonight is probably going to be a whole big work and grift. Right? So I got to watch that. Hopefully my stream later is done. By the way, let me plug a little bit. Just a little bit. If you're into comic books, I'm going to do a Whatnot show later this evening. 7 p.m. around there, I'm going to start. And if anything, it might just be a show and tell. So I'll be doing a second show, kind of like this, but you won't see me. And you'll be looking at comic books. And my collection's great. I'm selling out of my collection. I'm trying to make space because I just have too much shit. So go use that, QR code deal and go to Whatnot. I think there's a Whatnot link there. If not, just go to Whatnot. Get the I'm telling you, I'm not just plugging for them. I don't care about that. They don't pay me. They don't do anything for me. Good old Dr. Huge over here. They want me to pay them to show my show off. But go bookmark my show at Dr. Huge on Whatnot. But it is a good app, even if you don't like comics. If you're into other type stuff, you can get a lot of giveaways. Man, I've been gifted 50 comic books on there over the years. Just scrolling through, watching. It's not even like you have to buy. I'll be doing buyer giveaways tonight. So if you buy some books or whatever, I'll put up a cool book to just give away to somebody. Yep. Cool, right? I use museum bags. They're all boarded. There's no works going on with this stuff. I get that there's a lot of people on these seller apps, especially like eBay. And I've bought comics on eBay. And let me tell you this. I'm never buying anything from eBay really ever again. Anytime I've bought something from eBay, it is not what I was trying to buy. Meaning it may have been the comic I wanted, but it was not in the shape they said. They fool you with the pictures and stuff. What I'm doing tonight, live on video, in auction, so you're going to get a lot of books really, really cheap. $20 books, but I'm putting them up for $3 or whatever. There's not a lot of people that are going to be in here. So go check it out. Hopefully I can get a few more to get these bids up, like I'm on Storage Wars or something. Yep. Man, I'm good at this, right? That was a great plug. There you go. Look at Tiffany Stratton. She's plugging for me, along with Dave Meltzer. I think we got some other things to talk about, though, in the wrestling world. But you know how we do. We talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And let's talk about that Meltzer right now. He claims Robert Frederick Kennedy's niece, I think that's his middle name, was forced into the WWE. Then there was a lot of backlash on this. So his niece is a wrestler. And apparently because of Linda McMahon and RFK being in that world that they're in, the political world, people are saying that, this is the height of nepotism. This is The Rock's daughter all over again, right? Being the commissioner of NXT, a big show on Tuesday night on national TV. And send her the link to Clowntown. Yeah, we'll send all of them the link. Send Obama the link later to Clowntown. He'll love it. Yeah, I mean, it is all a big work. And who knows? Maybe the story's true. Maybe it's not. But I'm sure there's speculation of why she got in over, thousands of other wrestlers. Because, there's more pro wrestlers on the planet Earth than there are humans at this point. Right? Shout out to Daniel Carver. Pretty soon the wrestlers are going to outnumber the humans. You understand that joke? If you're an old stern head, you do. Hold on. See, I'm funny. I know things. So, yep. We talked about that. AI, everybody's upset about this. This is an old story, too. But again, AI used as a brainstorming tool for creative. Only a little bit. Just a little bit, they said. Last year, I spoke on the AI stuff before the news that they were using AI over at TKO. No, not WWE, TKO. And I said they should for brainstorming, ideas and things. And then you work them through your humans and you make it come to life. Make it make sense. But they don't. But maybe they are using AI a lot, because have you noticed even the other night, Jacob Fatu's on the phone with somebody again, and it's like, who's he on the phone with? They just did that with Randy Orton. They just had a masked man and masked woman coming out for every other month for years. So we're doing these mystery angles over and over and over again. Another reason why I don't watch anymore. I'll watch the highlights, check in on the news. I got it. I know what's going on here. I know all the players and all the people. They're acting so weird and corporate. Not the New Day. Well, the New Day gets released, right? Then you got the Usos quote tweeting somebody earlier. Let's find it. Let me bring it up. Hold on. Let's be professional. No, I don't do clips. We're about to look at some pictures and some tweets. Let me get there. I'm almost there, folks. I'm so quick at this. And then I want screen. And then I want this. And then we share it. And then we do this. Okay. So, you're going to get to look at my likes. Oh, no. Not that. My likes are private. Where is it? Where are you, Usos? Did I pass the Usos? I'm trying to like things. I like things to try to remember it. It's my way of bookmarking. There they are. We love them, it says. Okay, so I'm not going to play this video. Look at the face. Because anytime I've played anything from TKO or WWE, even for a second, they go ape shit on the copyrights. But it says we love them. Underneath, meet the WWE talent relations team in our latest TKO spotlight. So this is a weird timing to be doing this. A day ago, just about now. And then you got the Usos saying we love them, and they may know them and they may love them and all this. But I'm just thinking to myself, with all the releases and everybody bitching and all this stuff, I think this is them having their back. And then if you look closer here, get me out of here. How do we just get me to the comments here, bro? I don't want to make a comment. Oh, I got to click on the picture, don't I? They change these things little by little. So I click right here. And then, where's Bailey? Bailey's somewhere around here saying, like, yes. So she's sticking up. I'm sure everybody's happy with them when they get to keep their jobs. That's what I'm saying, right? So I found that a little weird. And then I found this one weird as well. Bronson Reed, who I like. Pro wrestling is still strong as long as my heart still beats. So it's like everybody's trying to promote and boost up the business when I think it's very a low day out here, you understand? My boys, the New Day, love Usos. Yep. And this personality wrestling, nah, it's dead. It's really sports entertainment. I mean, it has been for a while. It's just getting worse. So there you have it, folks. We looked at some things online. Because I'm a pro. I can bring up other windows. All by myself like a big boy. Thank you. Now, how do I get rid of it? We did it. Look at that. HVAC North in the building with the face blue smiling. Shout out to you, bro. Another famous person. You know, that's all that comes through here. Just famous people after famous people from the internet. And Jacob was getting Domino's pizza. He was. Are you trying to insinuate something over there, Paladin?
He's fat!
No, he's getting in better shape from what I've seen, Scott Steiner. I would never say that about the Samoan werewolf or his Domino's pizza. Anyway. So, yep. AI, right? It's making wrestling great again. Will Cruz debuted. I never heard of him. He looked like a babyface guy, but he's a big fella. Be on the lookout for him. I mean, John Cena is even shouting him out. Lucha Underground possibly returns. There was a little trailer type thing, a little quick 5-second like lucha mask with flames or whatever. And that's a great show. And they really should be doing that with WWE on one of these networks, some sort of Lucha Underground, because Lucha Underground is like a TV show. It's not your typical pro wrestling arena to arena. They're in one place. They're more like superhero type stuff. But it makes sense. It's good for them. So I'm glad it's back. And what else we got? How about that $5 a gallon for gas? Everybody like that? How about that war? We like war, right? I think that's what we like. I am in America, so I think that's fact, Jack. So shout out to Trump again. Thank you. Thank Biden, too. Thank you guys for the inflation, the high gas prices, all doing all the wrong things. For yourselves and your families and all the criminal organizations that run, our government and all the other governments around the world. Thank you guys. Keep on sacrificing. Keep it up. Good job. More on that later. Don't worry, we'll pay for it. We got it. Yep. There. I think we just fixed all the foreign relations and everything that's happening. Talked about how the NBA is the shits again. Nobody cares about JC Jane, but she is on SmackDown now. And she's getting over. And they put her in a match with Charlotte Flair. You all know Ric Flair, of course. So Charlotte Flair, his daughter, is a pretty big deal in wrestling these days. And JC Jane getting into it with her and looking pretty good while doing it is what's best for business. Woo! Mm-hmm. Do I have a private message? No. Yes. Thank your public servants for all that they do, for all that they ignore you for, right? Thank you. Except Thomas Massey and Ron Paul, right? I think those two guys, I don't know, we got to keep our eyes on those guys. They're weird conspiracy theorists. Okay, let me have another one. This is the whiskey talking, like the what you call it book, Artie Lang's book. Mm-hmm. And I'm Johnny Crutches. I even know who Johnny Crutches is. That's right, metal sign. Shout out to you, Olive. Johnny Crutches. You mean Johnny Rockets? That's what KB calls him. That's what I call him. Since KB's my leader. Mm-hmm. And that, I do want to know this too, HVAC. Are you going to Rotney's after you go to Rochester? I love watching all that stuff, like the Tommy Jordan videos when he did one at the one of Stuttering John shows out in the street, and watch all the antics and things happening out there. Again, much better than pro wrestling these days. Much better than the WWE. I get it. There's a lot of people like, how dare you even watch any of this? You should be watching AEW or New Japan. Or I know all about all that stuff. Listen, I'm not out here trying to watch wrestling 24 hours a day. There's plenty of it. I get it. The WWE's gone off the rails. Really to no fault of their own. Again, I'm blaming TKO. So I still love you, WWE, but hey, you got in the business with the devil. Mm-hmm. And Luke says, Tommy is too much, even for me. Well, yeah, he's been called a try-hard and ADHD and a spaz, whatever. It was funny when he ripped all of John's jokes out of his hands during Rodney's, which I don't honestly. How does that happen? You're at a comedy club. There was a tripod sitting in front of him. And people on stage, his enemies, people threatening to litigate with him, are in the crowd and introducing him. Wild shit, man. That's why I watch the Dabbleverse stuff for, bro. So come on, let's be real about this. That's where it's at. So tonight, I hope there's a good one. Maybe some Salabims. Let's go out and fight. Like, what's his name? Stevie Lou almost got in a whole street brawl with the Duke last time. Mm-hmm. And who's going to be the biggest F up on the Rodney's debacle tonight? Chad or Ray? I can't believe they're going to be in the same place at the same time like that. And they can't even pull it together to like do a 1v1 basketball game. So to have them at the same comedy club doing it with KB and Bob Levy, right? And is Ribs doing it too? Nobody knows what I'm talking about except like two people in here, maybe. 2 out of my million watt viewers. And in the future, many more, right? But I want it to be Chad, but Ray always wins. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, Chad, he's got a little more confidence with doing it. And from what I've seen, and I haven't seen a whole lot of their stand-up. Yeah, I know them more from the podcast and stuff, but Ray's podcasting in front of a fucking treadmill for like years. So, I mean, you can't get much like goofier than that. He really isn't trying. And that's what I'm saying. I went on a rant to my boy Paladin last night playing video games just about how like the Dabbleverse in 2023 was fucking lit, kid. It was awesome. We had the whole Kumia country, the black guy. You had John fighting with Lady K, and all that stuff, and Shuli, and it was a lot more fresh. And I'm not saying chatters shouldn't have shows. I'm saying that it's now that the community has gotten larger, or more defined. Let's say it like that. This is just me looking from the outside in, because of course I'm not in any of these communities. I'm cool with certain people, whatever. I don't know anybody. Nobody knows me. So what I'm saying is, you see the cliques lining up, and they kind of form around all these random shows, and then they get like spin-off shows of those, and then the cliques get tighter, and then it's more like weird, like gatekeepy interactions and things that happen out here, and everybody's worried about getting ambushed by each other on stream and all this stuff, and it's again, it's getting more like legal, and everybody's kind of going into their shell. It's like the opposite of what it was supposed to be, which was like KB screaming whatever came to mind on mic, and Stuttering John spitting all everywhere, and acting a fool and all this. So I'm not clicky. I don't give a fuck about anybody's groups or your discords or your this or that. Like, I don't have time for that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know anybody. And neither do you. You may see them once a year in a meetup and shit like that, but it seems like a lot of people, just on the internet in general, this ain't even a Dabbleverse thing or a Hackverse thing. It's like they will throw you under the bus, like the first chance they get, for $2 for a little bit of clout. That lasts what these days? A day, two. So that's that. I see where it's kind of going, and it's just not. It's going into a less and less fun place and more like mean place. That's why I was always more of a Howard Stern guy, and they could have the Gary the Retards, they could have the Wendy the Retards, and they could interact with them in a fun way. Where Opie and Anthony, it was more like, you're retarded, and they just like attack them and goof on them because they're mentally challenged. So we're going more in the Opie and Anthony. I get a lot of these fans are in both worlds, but I lean again on the power of positivity with the Bootios over here. I'm gonna eat those for breakfast every day for the rest of my life now that they're gone from the WWE. And fuck you if you don't like it, or if you do like it, fuck you either way, right? Mm-hmm. I bet Ray doesn't do shit to help his new parents around the house. Just the treadmill behind him, like at all times, or in front of like that screen door. And I'm just not a big Ray guy. I don't dislike anybody. He doesn't entertain me. He's not entertaining. It's gotten to the point where it's like, we get it. He's dopey, but I don't see the juice to be squeezed there. Maybe the older MLC fans or people that are more connected with all this stuff, it's funnier to them, but like I've never seen the appeal of like wanting to like hang out with him and I got to get in with Ray for what? But hey, maybe he's a superstar to some people. A rib shot. Shout out to you, bro. Killing it. Another fucking YouTube superstar around here. Lifetime supply of Bootios. Can't be cheap. Nope, not these days. They're collector's items now. I should have worn my Bootios shirt. I'm an idiot. I actually have a Bootios shirt. And people are like, I can't take you serious when you do your show with a Bootios shirt. And I went, huh? What? You can take me more serious in my Jimmy Fly Snuka? Is that what it is? Is it the tiger stripes that makes me look more dangerous? Fuck. What is wrong with everybody out here? Everything's my fault, right? Mm-hmm. I don't even know if amenities is the right word. Let's just say it is. I'm saying it is. How about that? And you need Bootios in your life? Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I'm not gay.
Are you sure about that?
I would not date a man. I would not carry a purse. I would not put on makeup.
Check out Paladin's OnlyFans. Killing it on there lately. So, JC Jane, we talked about you. Like a young Peg Bundy. Go check her out sometime. We kind of got into this. Do we care about the Tongans and Samoans? I mean, I'm reading my notes now. Tala went through the table. Jacob Fat too. It's like, it's just, to me, it's I'm not against Tongans and Samoans. It's just too much of this bloodline shit. It's been going on for too long. Now we got them on both shows. Let's calm down. Roman Reigns is the champ on Raw again. We'll probably never see him for months. Just the fucking business is... I don't like it. I don't like it, Triple H. I know you're killing it right now. You got the money. You got the fame. You got the power. Well, some of the power. Look at him over here with his watches and his hair and his money in his hands. Triple H, I was clowning you all year, you know, in a goofy way, because I know it's not all, you're not the be-all, end-all. But you are some of the problem here. So please, I've been begging you every week for a year and a half now. Get your shit together. Make this WWE into something that we want again, want to watch. Instead of, what are we going to 2 hours again on SmackDown? Is that the rumor? Did that happen the other night? Did I hear right? Because I don't watch it anymore. Only the highlights. Fuck your ads. Stop putting people's names on the mat for 30 grand or whatever. You see that story? People are putting their names on the actual wrestling mat for like 20K. 30K maybe even during WrestleMania. As like advertisements, as if anybody could see them. All right, I'm starting to get fired up now. Like that, this whole thing, they're ruining things I like, everybody. The world is ruining everything that I like. Oliver, instead of buying a comedy club, KB should buy an abandoned motel to house his low IQ panel regulars. I've been calling for that for years, believe it or not. Get off my screen, Triple H, so I can address this. You have nothing to do with this. So there needs to be a dabble house. And hello to Ambubes. That's quite the name. From Kick. Shout out to you out there. I see you out there. Don't tell me about your Discord. If you tell me about your Discord, I'm blocking you. But back to dabble house. This is the idea I have for it. And I've had for it. You know that thing that Kumian, Gino, and the stand-ups were doing, where they went to, like, I don't know, the little beach house or whatever in New Jersey and dabbled and filmed each other dabbling and doing shows or whatever. They need to do that with Ray, Gino, Chad, you know, all these guys. A dabble house. And I'm telling you, it will be a license to print money. I will put money towards this. I will super chat every show. I will watch all these shows. Do it just like what's his name? The crazy guy with the circle glasses that lives in my area. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about. He's all thick. He boxes people. He sweats like a lot, profusely. The fuck is his name? That's going to bother me. I'll stop the show for that. The fuck is his name? He's got a house of crazy people. Bird's Nest or something. What is it called? My dementia's kicking in because of KB. It's all your fault. Bleeding through into my brain. I don't know nothing anymore. My God. What's his name? Fucking nobody's... What, is everybody stupid? I'm going to start yelling at the chat here. We all stupid? We all got dementia? Anyway. All right. Anyway, do the dabble house. That's my point. Moving on. Is the Cocoa version of Bootios called chocolate starfishes? It should be, Luke. That's crazy talk. That's borderline racist. You know? Better watch yourself. I'm going to time you out. Ribshot, did you mention the debut of her hairband girl? Seems like you're a kind of wrestler. Okay, I'll look at that. Tony Storm used to be the hairband girl. She even stole my gimmick of the red hat cocked like this. Remember those days? And then they threw a cream pie at her face and then sent her to AEW. But I like all the new wrestlers that they pick up. They pick up the hottest. WWE NXT does it right. They go, who are the hottest gymnasts and volleyball people and fitness models. We're going to make you wrestlers now. And that's what I say. Look we found one right here, right? And I told you from the beginning, from the very, very beginning, I said Salt Rook is the next big thing. And there you go. There's my proof. Next big thing, she can actually move around in the ring athletically, and then that. So, I'm a hardcore analyst. I know things. And the guy that said hello on Kick, I came all the way from another country just to see the electric guitar in the back. Can you play it? I can play it. And you know who that is, right? That's Pink Floyd. I still got it. Still sharp. Rib shot. Apparently, the names on the mats was 1,500. Oh, that's not too bad. Not nearly 30K, 20K. Probably had to have a 20K ticket, though. You know what? Yeah, that makes sense. And they're like, well, you could get your name on the mat, too. Just an extra 15. That's not too bad. It's a great deal, actually. Yeah, Dabbler House brought Scarlett Hampton into the fold. Is that what did it, huh? It was those people? Give her a room. I know how to do all this reality bullshit, believe it or not. I would be able to produce an amazing reality show because I've watched many of them. I love that garbage reality shit. House of Villains being one of them. I see what they're doing wrong. I see what they're doing right. And you got to be able to, as a producer of these shows, Sam Hyde, thank you. Yes, Sam Hyde, he's got his show. And we want it to be something like that where they're filmed all the time. But then Dr. Hughes, and all of the geniuses out here will put our minds together and we'll figure out works to get them into conflict. Because that's what it's all about. So then, Scarlett can be fighting with this one and that one, and then they'll team up, and we'll do it in an elimination style because it has to be some sort of competition, and that instantly creates conflict. And what else we got here? Chad, did you take my laundry basket again? Shut up, Ray. Can't you see I'm with my imaginary girlfriend? It writes itself. That's what I'm saying. It's so fucking good. And then you can have spin-offs and you can keep the Dabbler show going because there's always more, goofy ass people coming through the space. Then we could have next season, it would be Tommy Jordan, Karmic, and, we'll get a new fresh batch of versers in there. I'm telling you, it's a home run. Then a Bachelor style show, but not like The Bachelor, like the old VH1 shows. Sometimes they would take two people, like two best friend guys or whatever. So two people that were cool in the Dabbleverse. And then they would get to pick, they're out of, all the drunk strippers or whatever. They don't even have to be Dabbleverse related, whatever. And then, of course, hilarious shit ensues. And all you need is no water, just booze. Booze everywhere. Okay, water in the morning to help with the hangovers. But the hot tub is made out of vodka. When you take a shower, vodka comes out. It's one of these houses where it's mainly vodka and hard liquor. And I'm telling you, shit will get crazy in a hurry. And it was Fish Tank, yes, with Sam Hyde. But this one will be Dabble House. Rolls right off the tongue. And your nickname means call an ambulance. It's quite the nickname right there. And did I mention the news about Rebel? Well, I try not. Oh, well, I'm going to do it for you, Sasha Reigns. It is a very sad story. And, I'm trying to yuck it up over here with everybody. But this is going to bring everybody down. Rebel is very ill. Former wrestler, TNA. And AEW has been in there. And she was super hot, too. Like, she was a hot chick. But she's very ill. So get well, Rebel. But, we did it, Sasha Reigns. Mm-hmm. Get well. Literally, not the way I usually do it, sarcastically saying it. Oh my God, Paladin. You're not winning yourselves any friends in here. You want them to follow you back, right? Just tell them this.
I'm not gay no more.
Rib shot. The next girl is called Lizzie Rain. She's got 80s hair and her uncle was an Iron Maiden. Okay. Lizzie Rain. Glizzy Rain. That's what I would do with her. I'd call her Glizzy Rain, and then I'd turn her whole gimmick into like that Prince movie of Purple Rain. And House of Villains rocks. The Traitors is great too, but only with celebrities. Exactly. You get it. Remember when Michael Rappaport was on the latest Traitors? But I remember when they said who the cast was going to be on Traitors, and I saw Michael Rappaport's picture on there. I said, he's going to get eliminated. I said, he's going to be made one of the faithful players, and the people will know that, but they'll still vote him out because he's a douche. And I was 100% right. Spoiler alert, sorry. But, I mean, come on. Anybody that knows anything about Michael Rappaport knew he was going to get tossed out the first chance they got. And he was actually right, if you know what I'm talking about, Luke. Like, he said something, and he was correct. But they were like, they did the pearl clutching. How dare you say these things? Anyway, instead of a rose, the Bachelor hands out golden mics. Yep. I used to have a whole idea for Enzo and Kaz, if anybody remembers those guys from the WWE. They were like two, they really Gindaloon types that were very hippie, ghetto. That's how they were, shown to everybody. But if they did a double date show together like that, the big guy, the 7-footer, Big Kaz, would give away the big boot. So he'd give away a big wrestling boot because he always does the big boot. And then he would kick all the women off into the pool with a big boot that he was, kicking off the show, basically. And then Enzo, who was more ghetto gangsta, would, instead of the roses, he would give Air Jordans to the girls that would stay. And I think that's hilarious. It would still work today. Thank you. Dabble House, hosted by Ari Jane and Don from Drums Department. Yeah, something like that. Anything would work. But you understand how these people try over there. They're not trying. They tell me I try too hard. I go on other shows and things, and they're like, listen, stop trying. We're not doing this over here. And then, not all, some. And then they'll be like, where's my money? Why isn't anybody giving me super chats and this and that? I'm not going to name names. I think we all have visions in our mind of many, many people on the internet that give you zero effort and then are looking like, now where's the money? I'm not doing this just for my health. Give me money. It's pretty bold. I don't know how they get away with it, and I wish they would stop. So anyway, again, Whatnot Show, 7 p.m. Check it out. Get the app. It's dope. Gunther chokes Cody Rhodes last night. That was something, huh? Yep. Could have been Heyman's little favor because Cody Rhodes has the biggest belt in all of the business. Gunther was just in a feud with Seth Rollins, beat him. Looks like he's moving on. Seth Rollins is now getting into it with Braun Breaker. I guess people were speculating that the chair shot he gave him to the back, and the reason why he clipped him in the back of the head and left him all bloody and kind of knocked him silly for a little bit was on purpose as like a receipt for the spear that he received from Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. So get well, Braun Breaker. Get well, Seth Rollins. Mentally and physically, spiritually. And Ricky Saints debuted last night. I did hear a little something about that. What a weird career he's had so far. He I first saw him in NWA on YouTube. That's a promotion, been around forever, owned by Bill Corrigan, from the rock band, the Smashing Pumpkins. He moves on from there, goes to AEW, lights it up pretty good there, does all right, makes it to NXT over at WWE, and now last night, first debut on SmackDown, friends with Cody Rhodes, because he was over at AEW with him when he was there, loses to him, cuts a, I wouldn't, was it a promo? Basically talked a little bit, but it was underwhelming to, I would say, most of the people that saw it. And he was pretty underwhelming when he came into NXT as well. They made him champion, didn't seem to move the needle or do anything. And get well, Ricky Saints, who was called Ricky Starks last night, by the way. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
And we're back. Rappaport rocked that show. He really did. And that's why it's always the ladies, too, generally. The ladies and the effeminate men, they're not going to handle a guy playing any type of game with aggression. He was very aggressive, but he's also very, very stupid. And it's like, bro, don't you want the money? Just shut up. But he couldn't help himself. He was great in Higher Learning, too. Remember that movie? That's the first time I ever seen that guy, was in that movie. He played a Nazi, too. Imagine that. Isn't that crazy? But, yep. Anyway, so, yeah, in the WWE, we got the Jelly Rolls. You got the McAfees over here. And have you heard the latest celebrity that they want to really bring in the WWE and make a thing and possibly announce? Stephen A. Smith, guys. Stephen A. is the next guy up. So we just get rid of Pat McAfee. They're talking about using a little less celebrities, and then you're going to throw Stephen A. at us. He doesn't know about wrestling. He doesn't know about basketball. He doesn't really know about any of this stuff more than anybody else. He doesn't. The motherfucker plays solitaire when he's at the finals, okay? He doesn't care. He's a personality, and we don't need him in the pro wrestling. Get him out. Let him go back to politics. He was supposed to be getting into politics. Stop looking at my bottle. Skull.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Forcing me to drink over here. Stephen A. Smith and all these idiots. Kill Tony had a WrestleMania show. I didn't even watch it. And it was available this year. Last year's wasn't available. You couldn't watch it last year. It was just some certain clips online or whatever. I saw Sami Zayn bomb on there, though. I did see a little clip of that, so. Good. I like when Sami Zayn bombs. Triple H was on Kill Tony a few months back. And I caught like the last hour of the show. He didn't say a word. He was reaching for microphones and he'd pull away and he'd reach and he'd pull away. When you're dealing with these comedic types around here like this, you got to plow through. Just fucking plow right through. If you got something to say, pick up the mic and say it. And then when they, step all over your little one-liner or something, you point it out. That's how you do it. That's how us pros do it out here. So Kill Tony, again, this just comes to mind because I watched it earlier this week. They do it on Mondays. So it's late Monday night. I'm watching this Kill Tony. They're having their new guys, what do they call them? The open micers come up. And they're doing their minutes. And Tony's just, as soon as it's done, I get the format and everything. But he's really digging. And the way he digs with that voice, it's like, so where do you live? And where do you work? And what's your car? And what's your social security number? And what's your, like, he's just digging and digging and digging for information. And finally, one of the guys, he's like 20 or something like that, is like, starts answering some of his questions because he keeps probing and probing and probing. And he's like, oh, so you live with your parents and blah, blah, blah. It's like, the fucking kid's 20. $5 gas out here, right? Just fucking insanity. But I find him very, very obnoxious. So it's almost like I love the show and I love the way it's built. But I can't stand this Tony guy. I can't stand that the black dude that goes on there. Does anybody remember his name? Big fat black guy. I seen his name again the other day.
Because you know you like hoes.
Wrong page.
He's fat.
Definitely not a hoe. But he does that. He laughs like that. Apparently steals jokes from everybody on Twitter. Again, it's like these are the kind of people I don't really want to fuck with. Yeah, and they're just they're nasty. They're not as funny as you think they are. And it's obnoxious. They're more obnoxious than they are funny. And they take themselves very, very seriously. So then adding the pro wrestlers to these open mic gigs, I don't know if my level of cringe, I can't handle that. I don't know. That would be too much for me, I think. So go check it out, everybody. Check it out, Paladin. Let me know how it was. And how about that pew-pewing at the little event last week, the communications event? Totally real. Totally happened. Just like they said. You see the video? The guy shooting at the dude running past him, missed him 3 times. Plus, isn't that fucking dangerous to be shooting at somebody that's running that fast? And apparently it was because he shot one of his own people. And all very highly suspicious, as usual. And Trump and them, they look like they were having a real good time after the fact up there at the podiums and talking about all this. It's just more distractions. And then it was just all ballroom. For the next 3 days after that, ballroom, ballroom, ballroom. And I know people have figured it out online, the BA apostrophe AL room. And if you don't know, look it up. It's as if they're giving us code on purpose. That's fact, Jack. You can say that this is crazy. It's really not crazy at this point. They've mentioned it so much that it's like a built-in ritual work that they got going on. Anyway, more on that later. I used to do a conspiracy show with no name. That's what it was called back in the day. And let me tell you, I've been right about a lot of stuff. Not right about everything. And I don't believe everything, of course. But, man, you mean to tell me a guy is just able to stay at a hotel right next to this event and bypass the security like that and the dogs sniffers and all that. Like, no, I don't believe it. It just works too well in their favor for whatever they're doing. Again, usually a deflection, obfuscation, a distraction of some sort. They're like, bro, oh, what aliens? Don't worry about it. Worry about all the scientists and aliens. Right. Couldn't be anything else like free power or anything that we've probably had for 1,000 years. But I digress. Because we need to pay, right, folks? We got to pay everybody for everything. The water, the air, and the oils, and, all the stuff that's here for free for everybody. We got to pay for. Got it. Thank you.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
But it's all my fault, right? It's my fault. It's not anybody else's fault. So good luck, Trump, with your ballroom and your underground bunkers and your underground cities and your rituals and all this stuff. I'm rooting for you. Hope it works out. Thank you. And another rumor. Sounds true to me. Now that the Wyatt 6 is gone. Yeah, Alexa Bliss has retired her dark gimmick that the TKO here, they don't want anything to do with horror gimmicks, darker gimmicks. Aleister Black gone now too, right? It's just, they want more reality stars and more celebrities and all this. It stinks. Again, it's another reason why I'm out of wrestling.
It was the shits.
Mm-hmm. And UAPs are us from the future. Could be. Listen, I'm not ruling anything out. I'm just saying generally whatever comes from, your phone or the TV is going to be false. Because why would they allow the truth to be like public? You're going to have to go find it in like books yourself. If it's online now, it's probably not real. Things can change digitally like that. Who knows? Maybe the AI is already in control. Maybe. Skynet's already kind of happened. But they're able to maneuver people's thoughts so easily because everybody's got a phone in their pocket that, nobody notices. So I guess the Wyatt 6, when all these people get released, they're going to AEW, they're doing this, they're doing that. Dexter Lumis had a little video with Indy Hartwell. And if you know, they had a thing in NXT, like a whole romance angle and all this stuff. So I think they're cooking up something for the indies. I wouldn't say anybody's going to AEW except for maybe the New Day. I believe the New Day is going to AEW. They'll get paid. Everybody is already talking Young Bucks versus New Day. They're all a bunch of video game nerds and all the rest. So, that's how that's going to work out. And you're talking to Big Dub? Is that even allowed? Did I allow this? No, I'm not going. But if I had a little short notice, I would have. Mm-hmm. I would be going to these things too if they were like in nearby cities, Boston, Providence, but of course it's always in usually around Philly and Jersey and stuff and New York, and I'm good. I did make it to Times Square one time in like 2 hours and 10 minutes. I went early on a Tuesday morning, right after their traffic over there. I couldn't believe it. That's real fast. Very fast. Stop correcting yourself. We know what you're talking about. We know. We know you're not a stupid idiot. If anybody does grammar police stuff like that around here, blocked. Blocking everybody. Don't ever turn on Dr. Huge or any of my chatters or else. Timeout, blocked. So don't expect any future Undertakers or any of that, because, of course, these dark gimmicks, they don't work, right? TKO, you dumb fucks. Got to get rid of Aleister Black. He's too good at wrestling. He gets it too much. We don't know what to do with him. And then they're like, oh, we can't go back to AEW. He burnt the bridge there. Did he? I don't know. And then we got Jungle Boy out here wanting to pick fights with Sean Ross Sapp, who blocks Dr. Huge, of course, online. And many of you probably don't even know. I didn't know. I looked it up one day for whatever reason and said, you're blocked. And I went, huh?
What?
For what? For being awesome? For doing my wrestling show? Who knows? People catch strays around here too. I can be douchey too. I can say and goof on things too. I'm just saying the difference of the way I do it and a lot of other people out here on the interwebs do it, is very light, very college humor type shit. But I guess some of these guys, they can't take it. Right? And I'm not one of these. Block me and everybody block me. I don't give a fuck. I like blocking people. I think that's cool. People say you used to come into my chats back in the day and be like, blocking people is weak. And I'd be like, oh, yeah. And I'd block them. Go watch this. Hansy used to love that gimmick. Whenever I'd had Hansy on, then all of a sudden Transy and all these other Hansy stalkers would like be in my chat and I'd block them all. Because, I don't need him fighting with my chat the whole time on my shit. You understand? And he would get a kick out of that. I'd get a kick out of that. And the rest of the chat would get a kick out of it. It's like, why are you going to complain? You're going to get complained because you can't troll my guest? Nope. I run this for now, right? Anyway. So, yep, Jungle Boy, get well. CM Punk, you get well as well. And Sean Ross Sapp. Those are three guys that, I don't know anything about them. I don't know them personally. But, consensus seems to be that they're kind of douchey. And I don't know if you've seen the news that CM Punk from TMZ, there was another guy at WrestleMania weekend that called the police and said he pushed him in the chest. I guess he got too close to a chick magnet. He doesn't sound like he's a chick magnet. He sounds like he's a mark magnet, this CM Punk. See what I did there? He's attracting all the marks. Now, that one guy that's, taking a video of it with his phone of Bailey and his wife hugging. Right, they're literally at the door of the hotel. Go inside. Go to your room. Go somewhere. You're standing in public and you're not making a scene, but you're hugging and you're crying. And the marks are going to pull their phones out. They're going to run up and they're going to be like, ooh, and try to get this history and stuff for the clout and all this. But the thing, CM Punk, I get you're mad and all this, but you just walk up in front of the camera and you give a little PSA. And you let them know, listen, this is a private moment. Can you fuck off? And also, can all you other fans in Vegas that are at WrestleMania stalking us all day, every day outside, can you please leave us alone? Unless you're like at a certain venue where we're having a meet and greet and everything else. That would have been way better. That would have gotten the message out to everybody else. The fan probably most likely would have backed off now that you're in his face, like you're like ruining our weekend by doing this stuff. You and a bunch of other people, leave us alone. Instead of slapping his phone out of his hands. Instead of pushing people in the chest in all, like these conventions in the middle of the city. But this chick magnet seems a little impulsive. And he's just not one. I don't believe his act that he's like this great guy, Mr. Uncle Phil and all this. It seems like everywhere he goes, he fights with people. He was even on like an MTV show. I forget what it was years ago. It was one of these competition type shows. And he's fighting with another guy. You're a fan. Like, fuck you. I'll kick your ass. And almost like getting into it with him. And I believe it's because I'm right about this. And I've been saying it for years. The wrestlers, the sports entertainers, the performers, if you want to call them these days, they don't fucking like you. They don't like me. They don't like you. They like little kids that look up to them. Everybody else, you're a creep to them. Okay? And even the normal ones that are adults, like me and everybody else, if I go and I do these meet and greet things for a second, it's like generally they just bring you in, you take a picture with them, and you're out in 5 seconds. And it's like, hey, bye, see ya. And it's constant movement. You're not really interacting with anybody on a deep level or anything. So, and it costs an arm and a leg. They want your firstborn to take a photo with Roman Reigns. If that even happens, he's at a point, I don't even know if he would do meet and greets like that. But anyway, what I'm saying is you got to have some sensibilities and know that you're at WrestleMania weekend, you're in Las Vegas, where they're all at, and you are going to be stalked. Maybe not stand at the front door of a hotel. Even if it's inside a casino or whatever. Again, go up to your floor. Go up to your room. Go do somewhere something's private. And don't get into it with people. It's just not a good look. Of course, nothing's going to happen to Punk from anything. Punk could go around there and punch every fan in the face. One after another, just fucking punching them. And most of them probably wouldn't even fight back. And then nothing would happen to Punk. They'd be like, they'd probably arrest everybody else for hurting his fist. So, cut it out, CM Punk. Just grow up, bro. You're supposed to be the elder statesman here. You're doing the fucking Mick Foley cheap pops every city you're in. You're playing the role as like you're the baby face. You ain't. I know you ain't. And a few people out here kind of get that you ain't either. And here's somebody that everybody hates that they shouldn't hate. Lacey Evans reported to possibly coming back into the wrestling business, maybe even WWE. She's hot, man. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't think Lacey Evans is a hot mama, then maybe
I'm not gay no more.
Maybe that's you. But definitely hot. Can work decent enough. She came through NXT, was on the main roster for a bit. But in the angle with her and Ric Flair, when they were like dating and Ric Flair knocked her up, that was amazing stuff. But then she got knocked up in real life, I think. But anyway, bring her back. The people, they're hating on her. Generally the ladies, I would think, because they're like, she's got an OnlyFans and, she's like a right-winger, right? If you're still doing the right-winger, left-winger shit, like, holy shit, you are really late to this game, folks. Let me inform you. That doesn't exist, you marks. There is no left wing. There is no right wing. They're both working you. What do you think? If the Democrats take over, as AOC becomes president or something for the Democrats, you think things are going to get better? Are you kidding? They just go back and forth, and it's a one party. And it's been real frustrating for me knowing this for well over 20-something years. And you still got people to this day that don't like people on their TV or just performers of whatever. And they're like, well, they're a libtard or they're a maggot, right? It's like so lame. It's how much of a mark can you be? You really don't understand how this world actually works. And then we get things like the files, right, that come out and kind of paint a picture for everybody of how things actually work. And they're like, no. Aliens now. right? We're going to do aliens instead. We're going to do all this other stuff. Get out of here. Now I'm the crazy one. Right. So, I don't know. Everybody get well. You know, I hope you figure it out. We'll vote our way out of this any day now. And then Stephanie Backer, you get well, of course, too. She hurt herself. She's banged up again. And we may not even see her until SummerSlam. So I know this is a very big deal to many people. She was really coming up the ranks. She was champ already, blowing up, all hot and sexy and Latina and things. She was also a hot mommy with the I. The other one's a hot mommy. Right. And you're an alien too? Maybe we all are. Who knows? I don't know. But I would rather know what's in those files first. Then we're going to skip the files and go straight to aliens? All right. Whatever. So, I don't know. I'm going to wrap it up. I think I said enough. Mania 28 supposed to be in Nashville. That's like after they go to Saudi Arabia this year, or next year, rather. Why do I care? It ain't got no soul no more. There's no soul. There's no real entertaining going on. So, I'm sick of it. Jack Hager out here slapping people in Power Slap. Have you seen that past week or two? I thought it was AI at first. I cannot believe he's power slapping right now. Ridiculous. Get well, Jack Hager. We're going to leave it there. Again, I got a little comic book auction on Whatnot, 7 p.m. tonight. Go check it out. Just if you got the app already, follow me at DR Huge Show. Wow. I got more night videos coming, live streams and things. So you stay tuned. More guests, more streams, more everything. Man, we did it. We killed it today, everybody. Thanks for all the people that showed up and are in the chat. You know, you're all appreciated out here. We love everybody in all the verses, especially the Huge verse. Get liking, get subscribing before I end the stream. Or else you'll catch a fresh one of these days when I catch you at Rodney's. We also have to watch that later. Make our comments about that. Wow. Big night tonight. So, all right. Good game. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye. See ya.